Hi there, my name's Alby if I haven't met you before, and I just wanted to say welcome to this video, but more importantly wanted to say thank you for submitting your information and trusting me enough to submit that information. I just want to assure you that that information is perfectly safe. It won't be passed on, it won't be sold. We don't make our money selling other people's information. We wouldn't like it to happen to us. We certainly will not let it happen to you. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I might just spend a few minutes maybe establishing a few credentials. Now, the reason I do that is because if you're anything like me, when I first got online, I got ripped off, I got scammed, I got left behind as what I call an internet orphan. That is, somebody took my money and then took off. And it took me a long time before I found myself a mentor, somebody that truly cared for my financial future. And I've learned since then that I only ever want to get involved with somebody who, number one, I can trust, but number two, who has the success that I want to have. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to be getting information from somebody who's failed in online marketing because you'll probably replicate exactly what they've done. So I'd just like to talk about what we've done over the last few years, but maybe just before I do that, just a quick introduction as to who I am as a person. You may or may not relate to that. I'm just going to drop myself down here. I'd like to introduce some of my family. That's my lovely wife Rachel here in the middle, and we've been married for 25 years this year. My two daughters, who are twins, are 19 years old. They're both studying in the medical field, and then my two boys, 16 and 14, are both at school still. In fact, my eldest son there is just about to start driving this week, so please pray for me. He's actually a very good and a very trustworthy driver. I love my family. We value our family life, and we value the love that we have for each other. I'm very, very proud of my children, and still deeply in love with my wife. So that's a quick introduction to the family there. Just a quick brief background as to where I've come from. I started life, actually left school at 14. I was a school dropout, completely and utterly miserably failed at school, couldn't focus on anything. I was always called what they call a daydreamer. I was always looking out of the window into the clouds, always dreaming of something maybe a little bit better than sitting in a classroom. Well, I left school and I actually got an apprenticeship as what they call a coach builder. I used to build buses and hearses and ambulances and those sorts of things. And I actually finished my apprenticeship by the time I was 18. So I was a tradesman at 18. I decided to do some traveling. And then in my early 20s, I decided to go to university. And I had to do a whole lot of study to be able to get into university. And I studied what they call applied science here in Australia. Now, I didn't finish my science degree, but I learned enough to get involved in a business that I was quite passionate about at the time, and that was aquaculture, that is fish farming. And we used to export live fish all over the world for the aquarium trade, mainly to some of the big public aquariums, SeaWorld and places like that. It was quite a big business. We lived up in the Northern Territory of Australia, and wonderful business, wonderful single man's life. In the meantime, I got married. Things changed. We had children. We sold that business, and then I had multiple businesses in that time. I got exposed to the world of network marketing, which I absolutely loved. I love the principles of network marketing. I love the idea of sharing things that you love with other people, helping them succeed. To me, that was a very new concept, because the jobs that I'd had, everybody was trying to crawl over my back to succeed, and I was the same. And their failures were often my successes. Disgusting environment to be in. And so I fell in love with the network marketing industry, and I have a passion to help people. So that'll just give you a very quick background. About 5 years ago, we got involved in foreign exchange trading, and we lost absolutely everything. I think the entire amount was about $800,000 of ours and friends and families' money all went down the drain, lost everything, and I had to actually go back and drive trucks for 6 months just to pay the rent and to get my head together. It's really messes with your head when you lose everything. And during that time, I had my laptop sitting on the passenger seat of the truck, and I had a wireless mouse on my lap, and I would just scroll through the internet just looking for opportunities and just looking for somebody that maybe cared for me just a little bit, because I was wasting tens of thousands of dollars on courses and with people who, as soon as they had my money, as I've mentioned before, took off and just left me high and dry. I finally found myself a mentor, somebody that cared for me enough and taught me everything they knew. And I was a great student because I had the work ethic, but I also had the desire because I had debt collectors at the door. I had the sheriff turning up, taking everything out of my house. If there was ever anybody motivated to make it online, that was me. Now, I don't know if you can relate to any of that, but that was a disgusting time of my life. But it's also, look back, and I think it's also the best time of my life because that's when I did all my growing and all my learning, and I learned all the skills on how to market online. I'm very happy to tell you that today we've had, particularly over the last few years, some enormous success, and that's just built on the back of all that learning that we did, 5 or 6 years ago. So let me just run through some of the things that we have done. And again, all I'm trying to do is establish some credentials with you because I just know you're wanting to be involved with someone who has the results and the runs on the board. Okay, now let me I'm just going to drop myself down here. I'm going to go to a business we started back in 2013. This was one of the businesses that we had some early success in. It's a business called AdHip Profits. This is what they call a revenue sharing business. As you can see, that's my account. And we started in 2013. Today is it's February 2016. And during that time, we made over 180,000 US dollars in that business, which is a fantastic amount of money. But here's the thing is I learned how to sponsor people online. I learned how to market. I learned how to drive traffic to a lead capture page and build a list. And the key to everything we do is building a list. And I'm going to teach you how to do all this. You'll see this little number down the side of the amount of people that we sponsored into that business. Now, I also have to tell you that was within about a 2-month period. We sponsored over 600 people in that particular business, and that $180,000 was also made within that 2-month period. Let me go on to the next one. We, a couple of years ago, began a business called karatbars. Karatbars is the premier gold saving program online, and we love the karatbars business. This is a what they call a top tier business. You'll see this is my account. I'm not worrying about logging in because it'll slow everything down. You can see that's my account there. And in this particular business, we started this in, here we go, 2013. So that's nearly 3 years ago. And sponsored personally into that business 262 people. But here's the amazing thing, and this business is an extremely lucrative business for us. We have a downline of over 43,000 people as I'm making this video, and we're getting pretty close on 1,000 new people a week coming into our organisation. It's a business that I've spent very little time on these days. I spent 2 years nearly full-time putting it together, and it's just a wonderful business. Again, using the simple principles of driving traffic to a lead capture page, building a list, building a relationship with that list, and then helping other people achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Now, just recently, a couple of months ago, we began another revenue sharing business. Revenue sharing business are fantastic for immediate cash flow. And I actually started this with my business partner, a guy called Lawrence. And we began this business, sorry, my wife's just turned up and I'm looking out the window there. Over the last 2 months, we've sponsored over 100 people. You'll see that we've got 80 active referrals. That's people who actually put money in. But if I go over here and look at the entire organisation, I think there's over 122 people we've sponsored into that business. And we've made, in that particular business, in total, you see total earned over just over nearly 37,000 US dollars. So again, using the principles of, building a list, building a relationship with that list. We've managed over a couple of months to, in Australian dollars, that's well over 50,000 Australian dollars, which is almost getting to what the average annual income is for an Australian. Now, just about 6 days ago, we began a business called Likes XL, and this is the business that I really hope piques your interest. Now, I'm going to move myself into this corner here. In that 6-day period, just by again utilizing that same principle of driving traffic to a lead capture page, building a list, we have sponsored personally, if you can see that number down there, 65 people, and that 65 people has produced a downline of 15 people already. Now that's in a 6-day period. Actually, that's actually over about 4 real days. I started 6 days ago. I didn't start marketing till about 4 days ago. So in a 4-day period, we've got a team of, what's that, 60, 70, nearly 80 people, or exactly 80 people in that organisation. Now, I truly believe, because I've done this before and I know what to expect, is that within 2 months, this will be a $100,000 a month business also. All right, now I'm just going to bring myself up here. There we go. Then we'll just have a little bit of a chat. Now, I don't want to show you all that to brag. I honestly hate it when other people do that myself. I just want to, as I've said, establish some credentials. It is very, very important when you get involved online is, number one, you can find someone you can trust. Number two, that they're going to take you to a point which is above and beyond the reach that you have already. I always say when you get involved in a business, get involved with someone who has more success than you so they can actually teach you something. Certainly my mentor has been that. My mentor has made millions and millions of dollars online, and I certainly hope to emulate that. We've certainly made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars online. I hope to turn that into millions for all the right reasons, not because I love money. It's just there's a whole bunch of good stuff that can be done with it. So I hope that I haven't come across as being proud, because I certainly, as I mentioned before, don't want to feed that spirit of pride, but I want to let you know, number one, that we do know what we're doing. We keep it extremely simple. We will hold you by the hand as long as you've got an attitude that you want to do it. I mean, you can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. Somebody who's prepared to take responsibility for their own actions and put their shoulder to the wheel and has that work ethic and that desire to make something different happen in their life, then we're certainly willing, ready, and available to help you do that. So, look, thanks so much for listening to me ramble on for the last few minutes. I really appreciate that. I certainly hope that I see you on our team. If you do have that desire and you have that attitude and that work ethic, if you're expecting something for nothing and expecting to get results without any work, this is really not a great starting point for you. In fact, the sort of people that we normally attract are people who have been burnt already and are looking for somebody they can trust and have already gone through what I call the college of hard knocks and looking to do something different. So, guys, link arms with us. We sincerely have your success and your interests at heart. We pride ourselves on being transparent. I certainly consciously work with as much integrity as I possibly can, and I certainly think that our team is hallmarked by that trait as well. So what you need to do is, I believe maybe under this video or somewhere in this video, there'll be a link for you to click on that link. Get started. If you've got any questions, you can shoot me an email. Skype's a great way to get hold of me. If I'm not available immediately, I certainly will always get back to your questions whenever I possibly can. So, welcome, and I hope to see you on the other side. This is Alby, over and out. Bye-bye.